Mr. Bombastic. We want is a bombastic, romantic, fantastic lover. Shaggy. Mr. Lover, lover. Now Mr. Lover, lover. Girl. Mr. Lover, lover. Now Mr. Lover, lover.
Wait, Grandpa, I have a question.
What is it, boy?
In school today, we learned about pre-revolution America. Do you know anything about that, Grandpa? Do we have any family from that time period?
Why, yes, we do. I know quite a lot, actually. My great-great-great ancestor lived during that time.
Wow, tell me about him.
Okay, but once I tell you, you have to promise me that you're going to go right to bed. Remember, you have a big day tomorrow. Anyway, my ancestor was an indentured servant in the pre-revolution America. As an indentured servant, my ancestor was required to work for no pay to fund his passage into the New World. But our ancestor had one problem. He was a slacker.
Oh, I've been working all day. I need me a break. What you doing there, friend? Cause that don't look like work.
Wait, Grandpa, why would he call his servant friend?
Well, because in that time, friend was a title used for everybody.
Here you go, son. Thank you, my friend. Why, hello there, Mr. Covey. Why, hello there, my good old friend, Mr. Mailman. I just delivered your mail in your mailbox, old friend.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
My friend.
Have a good day, friend.
Anyway, back to the story.
Smith, Jebediah.
No.
Bring me
No.
my beaten stick.
No!
Jebediah, throw him in with the dog.
No! No! Please! Get out of here! Please! God!
He used his power over the boy to punish him. The boy succumbed to Mr. Covey. He was thrown in a holding cell. Fortunately for our ancestor, he quickly realized that the door was still unlocked.
Why would they punish someone so harshly?
Because, in those days, indentured servants and slaves were considered near property, rather than considered equal under the political and social scene of patronage.
Grandpa, what's patronage?
Well, little Todd, patronage represents the personal relationships between all social and economic classes. During the American Revolution, the world still seemed small enough so that everyone could have personal relations with one another, which are clearly defined by social and economic factors.
Oh, no. Wait a minute. Forgot to lock the door.
He will not get far, for no noble will lend him money, because during our current time, the relationships do not allow commoners like himself to get loans.
Wait, couldn't he just get money from the bank?
They didn't have banks then, and even if they did, they would have been owned by the wealthy, so the poor wouldn't have been able to take money from there anyways.
I will spread his description to my fellow noblemen, and they will surely believe me.
Good day, sir.
Get over here! I know you!
How does everyone know who he is?
Well, it's just a small localized area. Everyone knew everyone, and when servants ran off, they were quickly identified. To keep it concise, privacy within the colonies did not exist.
What do you mean, Grandpa? Did people in colonial society have tight living quarters or something?
Precisely. In fact, people that were not even related to one another, like recreational workers and nurses, were thrown into the same houses, within the same room, and maybe even the same bed.
Jeez, Grandpa!
Anyway, boy, don't let me stray from the story.
Who is this walking into my courtroom? Young man, whose servant are you?
I work for Mr. Covey. please don't send me back to him.
Mr. Covey. I know him well, and I know he'd be rightly upset if he heard I let one of his servants go. We play blackjack and even go to Sunday Mass together every once in a while. Our families are very close.
But why were the judge and Mr. Covey so close? How could anyone have a fair chance against the rich people?
Well, in the government of the day, there weren't very many officials, and the nobles knew all of them. They were all friends. In fact, the government was not the organizing agent in colonial society. It was something else that the revolutionaries, like the indentured servant boy, would be proud of. He found a way to overthrow the mindset of obeying his master.
Grandpa, that doesn't seem very fair.
That's right, but let's get back to the story.
Anyway, due to my private relationship with your master, Mr. Covey, I will use my public position as an elected official to send you right back to him.
No, please, don't send me back, please.
Oh, let me think for a second. Is that you're calling me? Oh, no, wait, no, it's not. It's mine, and I'm sending you back.
The other free people speak up for John.
Well, little one, Mr. Covey happened to be one of the richest men around, and all the other farmers were in his debt. The richest were obligated to help their neighbors, and because Mr. Covey did that, none of his neighbors wanted to argue with him.
Hi there, Mr. Covey.
Oh, well, hello there, little James.
How's your day today?
Oh, great, my friend, great, my friend.
Nice to see you.
Man, always nice to see you, little James.
Small farmers would send their goods to wealthy farmers, who would trade to the international market.
So, Grandpa, there seems to be a strong reliance on external commerce.
Well, very observant indeed. The colonies at the time were considered to be trading communities that focused more on the benefits of overseas trade, mainly with the mother country, Great Britain.
So, what were the economic goals of the colony?
Gosh, you ask a lot of questions. See, I guess you could say that the colonies wanted to have more exports than imports, a favorable balance of trade.
Wow, they use dollars like us?
Not exactly. The colonies didn't see much use in external trade, and most deals were conducted on credit, or materials rather than currency.
Well, I guess that just about settles it. Bailiff, let's get the next clown in here. We've got a new case to do in an hour.
This court is corrupt. The whole system is biased, you devilish liar!
You dare call me a devilish liar? You best know slander's a crime in these parts, so I'll give you one chance to take it back.
I will not.
Well, then I sentence you to death. You will hang from the neck till dead for your disruption of the social order.
And that's how our ancestor died.
Wait, if our ancestor died before having children, how are we here?
Now hold on.